I go to plus 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then what?
Left 3 and up 1.
Up 1 and left 3, or down 1 and right 3. And that would go on forever and ever and ever. And that would be right. I'm not even doing it. And finally, green dots. What's my intercept? 0. And the slope?
X equal to y, so it's just 1 up.
1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, 1 up, 1 over, down 1, left, down 1, left, down 1, left, down 1, left. Now, questions. F of 2. Yes, Harmon? Same way you did all the rest of them. Everybody does that, Harmon. Don't worry about it. X plus 0. There's no number there. So what's the y-intercept? 0. Because what number is not there? 0. And the number that multiplies x is my slope, right? So what number, when I'm multiplying, do I not write? No. If I don't write 0 and I try to multiply 1, that's why the slope is 1. Got it? Okay. So now the question says, refer to the graph and find the f of 2. Well, that means the f of x is the line I'm looking at. What color did I draw the f of x? Red. The f of x. But I don't want the f of x, I want the f of 2. So I go out to 2 on the x-axis, and what do I see it is on the y-axis? 0. So the f of 2 equals 0. What color was the h line? Blue. So I need the h of 3. I'm on the h of x line. I need the h of 3, which means where do I go? To 3 on the x-axis. 1, 2, 3. And then I go up and I find it. It is right there. And it is 4. Yeah? Yeah. Uh-oh. What changes in C?
You're given a y value.
I'm given a y value for the g function, which I believe I did in black. Did I not?
I think so.
Or was g the last one?
No, green was the last one.
Yeah, black one was g. So I know that I need g of x equals 4. So I got to go in the y value to 4 on the black line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I go out there and I need the x value, which is what? Negative 3. X equals negative 3. And the last one. I'm back to the red function. F of x equals negative 1. So I go on which axis? The y value equals negative 1. And I find... What's that?
That's
1.5. Nice job.
That's red. It should be red. Or no, we're doing F again.
Yeah, we went back to F.
We never did.
We never did. I know. Poor number D.
My favorite number.
Is it? That's good. Everybody cool? Great. Any questiones from page 213
Yes, how do I do it?
by making x 0 and y 0 at the appropriate times? Okay, so every single x-intercept is what? Perhaps you should flip back in your notes to the beginning. Okay. So, Lauren, you are telling me that every single x-intercept, x0, was confusing?
I just have no idea what I want.
Well, I'm asking you now. What is every single x-intercept?
I was asking you guys which one the equation.
x0, correct?
Okay.
You with me?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we go to this line. 8x minus 3y equals 24, right? And every x-intercept is x comma 0, yes? That's an x, right? So do I have anything I can put there? No, it stays as x. That's a y.
Yeah, it
So what can I put there?
is 0.
What's y equal here?
0.
0. So what does y equal here?
0.
3.
No, y equals 3 times y.
Which is 0.
That's 0, right? So what is 3 times 0?
0.
So it drops out, right? You with me still? Are you with me still?
Less than x over plus b.
Okay, I'm having trouble with why you're having trouble.
I just.
Are you aware that that is a y value?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're aware that it equals 0, yes?
Yeah.
So you're aware that I can write minus 3 times 0 there, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, what is 3 times 0?
0.
So it is 8x minus 0 equals 24.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, do I need to write minus 0? No, so it's 8x equals 24. Are you cool to there?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does x equal? 3. So if x equals 3, then what can I write right there?
3.
3. So the x-intercept is 3 comma 0.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what every y-intercept is 0 comma y. So the x value is 0. So what happens to this 8x?
It
Turns into 0, and I'm left with negative 3y equals 24. So what does y equal? What kind of 8? Negative 8. So the y value is 0, negative 8. And if I wanted to graph it, I'd put a dot at negative 8, I'd put a dot at 3, and I'd connect them. Cool?
But then 8 times 3 minus negative 8 times negative 3 doesn't equal
8 times 3 minus 3 times negative 8, right? Okay, 8 times 3 is
24.
24. What's minus 3 times minus 8?
24.
Pardon me?
24.
24. So that would be plus 24. And you're saying that that indeed does not equal 24.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You're absolutely correct, except this says x and y, doesn't it? Well, 3 and the 8 are not the x and the y. X and y is a point on the graph. What is this point right here? It is 3 comma 0, correct?
Yeah.
What is this point right here? 0 comma negative 8, right? That's an x, that's a y. So what you're really doing is 3 times 0 minus 3 times negative 8 equals 24. What's negative 3 times negative 8? 24. Does 24 equal 24? So that point is okay. Now we go to this one. There's an x, there's a y. 8 times 3, right? Minus 3 times 0 equals 24. What's 8 times 3?
24.
Does 24 equal 24?
Yeah.
So what you have done is you've taken just the x and the y, but that point, 3 comma negative 8, isn't on the line.
Yeah.
These are the points that are on the line. So the x and y have to be the same spot, because every point on the line has both an x and a y. Got me? Okay. Is everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
What?
With the standard notation, like without numbers, y equals mx plus b.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get the x-intercept from that? Do you just
So you're asking me, you want the x-intercept.
yeah
Well, every single x-intercept is what?
x and then 0?
Okay. That's an x, that's a y. So what do you put there?
0.
0 equals mx plus b. You want the x-intercept, so you need x by itself, right?
Yeah. So you divide by.
So move that over. Negative b equals mx x equals negative b divided by m.
Okay.
If you ever wanted to do that.
Is that like a decent way to do it though? From
If that's what works for you.
okay.
I would never do that.
All right.
I would drop out the y altogether and work it out from there.
Okay.
But it still works. The only problem with that is if m's a fraction, you guys get messed up. If this is negative 6 divided by 3/4, even though that's only negative 6 times 4/3, which is really negative 8, if you see that notation, you guys get, like, you lose a little bladder control.
Okay.
You're welcome to do it, though. Lindsay's already shaking her head. She wants no part of this. And it could be because she wants to shake her earrings, but I think it's because she wants no part of dividing by fractions.
Oh, okay. I thought you said losing bladder control. You can take part of that. That's what I thought you meant. Because in that, when you frame the sentence, that's what I thought you said. I'm like, what?
Okay. So, any other questions from page 384? Going once, twice, thrice. When you're doing X and Y-intercepts, if you're doing the X-intercept, the Y drops out. If you're doing the Y-intercept, the X drops out. That's your takeaway.
Now you know why.
I wish algebra would stop asking about its X. I don't know anything about its X. It's gone, and I don't know why. Joke never gets tired. You guys have heard that joke. You should have heard that joke. Every math teacher's been telling that joke forever. That's why I until now haven't told it, because everybody else tells it. The other one that you always see is this. It's a test, and the question says, find X, and it looks like it's a triangle, and there's an X, and some kid goes, there it is. And then mistakenly, teachers nowadays use that to show how kids can show multiple intelligences, which is, of course, garbage. That kid is not showing intelligence. That kid is showing a-hole and showing a complete lack of intelligence. But because in our day and age, we aren't allowed to assess intelligence as something that is actually able to get something done, if you're a sarcastic puke, you still get credit for being intelligent. Much like the kid in England who wrote FU for his final English essay and still managed to get 1 out of 6. Because nowadays, him getting 0 might hurt his feelings, because he or she obviously cares about school and grades.
That's why he wrote
They wrote a sentence.
I know that.
So great. Unless they didn't spell U right, they just said U. Then
They might have.
that's a 0. If they spelled Y-O-U, then a period and like a
No,
capital.
it isn't, because it was supposed to be a persuasive essay or something like that, which means it's supposed to have a thesis statement and be argued with points and right? None of which was done. Okay, any questions from page blah 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 214, which was supposed to be slope-intercept page? Going once. Going twice. Okay. I have an answer. Eat. See? I always have answers. That is not my problem.
Sad though.
I want food now.
Should've packed
All right.
lunch.
That means we can go on. Cabbages to page 215, which is apparently necessary. Understanding slope. All right. What is every single slope?
Why
No.
okay.
Rise over run. Rise is on the y-axis. Run is on the x-axis. Positive is up. Negative is down. Positive is right. Negative is left. Okay? Great. Every single one of you in this quadrant somewhere in here, put a dot. Anywhere. Do not look at the screen because there is no dot appearing on the screen. You put a dot anywhere in this section. I'm going to highlight it to make sure we all put it in the right spot.
And Human just cheatoed my page.
Oh
Where
my
the
God.
dot.
Put the dot somewhere in that section. Has everybody placed a dot?
Wait, I'm confused. Okay, yeah.
Now I am going to place my dot. And the chance of me placing my dot, the same place you place your dot, are approximately 1 in 49. Okay? Because there's 49 possible places. I'm going to put mine right there.
Oh my God, you did this. I'm just kidding.
Now, place another dot so you can make a line with the slope 2/5. Okay.
From that dot.
From the dot that you made, put another dot that if you connect them, it will make a slope of positive 2/5.
I'm gonna need to expand.
Yes.
You do not need to expand because you can go in the other direction.
What if I want to go that way?
I do not want the graph to expand. You are not allowed to expand the graph. If you do not know what I am about to ask you to do, continue to look quizzically at the screen and wait until I show you. Has everybody either attempted or continued looking quizzically at the screen? Excellent. Let us go on then, cabbages. I am at this dot. My slope is positive 2 of a rise and positive 5 of a run. Now, if I was here, can I go up 2? 1, 2. Yes, there is my positive 2 rise. Can I run 5? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there it is. That is what your line should look like. Somewhere on your page should be a line that if you make it a full triangle, you have gone up 2 and that way 5. Or you have gone down 2 and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or you have made this line. Did everybody get it done? Excellent. You are halfway to understanding slope. Now, somewhere in this section, put a dot.
I love this game.
Anywhere, put that dot.
I'm gonna win this time.
I am going to put mine there.
You missed.
Bum, bum, bum. I need now a slope of negative 4. What? Mr. Myers, slopes have rises and runs. There's nothing in the denominator here. Dun, dun, dun. There is. What is it? 1. Graph it. For me, I need to go down 4, because if I go up, I'm off the graph. And was I allowed to expand the graph? No. So I go down 1, 2, 3, 4. And which direction? Right. So when I make this triangle, I have a negative 4 rise and a positive 1 run. Everybody good?
Everybody great.
You guys are very smart young people. I am going to make a black line somewhere in this section. Give me a slope of 0. You can talk like Yogi Bear. It is not that difficult. You just have to say every syllable and make it sound a little bit When in doubt, say, hey boo boo. And if you sound like that, then you are talking like Yogi Bear. It is not that difficult. All of you are smarter than the average student.
I don't know about all of us.
How do I have a slope of 0? It's a flat line.
My grandpa.
A flat line? That's a horrible thing to say. Everyone, this is the same person that thinks you are less than a person if you are missing parts of your body.
You are less. You have less person. I did not say you're less than a
Well, you
person.
physically have less person, but
there is
emotionally
less
you're still full of a person.
Wow, Lord, you're so cruel.
Remember when Lauren runs for office, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, because that's gonna happen.
It might.
I want to be hated by society.
And finally, H. Put a dot somewhere in the last remaining section, anywhere. I'm going to put mine there.
I'm really bad.
There. I'm going to put mine there. And my slope is positive 7 over what? 1. So I can go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and over 1. Or down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and over 1. And connect that line. Can everybody do a slope now?
We're just doing this first.
What?
Just with the 0, why can't we go up and down?
We had this discussion. If I go up and down, what is my rise? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is my run?
0.
What happens if I try to divide by 0? It's infinite. It is undefined. You cannot do it. Remember we showed you on the calculator, right? 1 divided by 20 million is, or 1 divided by 20 millionths is 20 million. You can't graph it. Okay? All right. Everyone is Gouda? Oh. 1 second. We're going to see if 1 second makes everyone shut up. Hasn't yet. I'll try saying it a little louder. 1 second, Armand. I'm trying to answer a math question for you. Perhaps people could stop. That time it worked. Interesting. Go ahead. Of course it would not, and here is why. If I go down there, that's negative 7, yes? And if I go that way, that's negative 1. Negative 7 divided by negative 1 is positive 7. Okay? Everybody good? My favorite is when people that talk, when I ask a question, then I answer the question, the people that were talking go, oh, because I didn't know that either. It's a good thing Mr. Myers is passive-aggressive and made me shut up. Everybody good? All right. Now, next. Now, you no longer get to put the dots wherever you want. You are being told where to put the dots. Where does this one go? No, you do not get to express creativity. Where does this one go?
Negative 5.
Which is where?
On the x-axis, go negative 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then
Down negative 2.
1, 2, 3. Boop, 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 boop.
Right here.
Where does this one go?
Go 2 to the right.
2 to the right,
And then 1 up.
1 up. Connect it and tell me the slope.
Okay, fine.
I'm either going from here to here or here to here. If I go from the one on the left, I got to go up because I do my rises first. How far up do I go?
Up one, right one.
No.
No. I was just kidding.
1, 2, 3, 4. And how far this way? 7. So what's the slope? 4 sevenths. Rise over run. Cool? All right. Now, the other one, I am at 0, negative 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Booda booda boop. And 0, 1, 2, 3. Booda booda boop. Straight up and down. What's the slope? Yeah, you. Undefined. Now,
Oh, yeah, okay.
answer me this question. If the line is on a graph, what is the easiest way to find the slope?
Do a little.
County, right?
Yeah.
If the line is on the graph, all you have to do is count. Rise, over run. Everybody got it?
Yeah.
All right. So, if line is graphed, we can count for slope. How do we count for slope? Rise, positive or negative, over run, positive or negative. Everybody good? Yeah? All right. Turn on to the next page. Oh man, we don't have a graph, do we?
Oh, I know what C is. Oh, never mind.
You
We're on
can
that
do
question
it
yet.
mathematically.
We can do it algebraically,
No.
right? Because what did we do to find this to here? We counted what?
Wait, is it?
Up.
Okay.
We counted up, which is the difference between that y and that y, correct? What math is difference?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So if I do my y minus y over x minus x,
Minus 3, 4.
now stop for a moment. If I write it this way, what is y take away y?
Why?
0, right? So I can't write it this way because I have more than one y.
Oh my goodness.
So we write it like this. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Oh my.
Who chooses which is which? You do. You're going to make a mistake.
They have to match up.
They have to match. If you make this guy y2, what is this guy? x2, which makes this guy y1 and makes this guy x1. As long as you match them, you can't do it wrong. Okay? Because order doesn't matter. Observe. I'm going to do this one very quickly. 1 minus 7 over negative 6 minus 2. 1 minus 7 is negative 6 over negative 8. Two negatives make a positive. 6 over 8, which we, of course, would Mrs. Bad crumble it to 3/4. Now, just to prove my point, I'm going to switch them, because I'm like that. So that would become 7 minus 1 over 2 minus 6, which would be 6 over 2 plus 6, which would be 8, which we would Mrs. Bad crumble to 3/4. And you would see that the slopes are exactly the same. Right? Without a graph. You guys do that one. Go. It should take about 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Negative.
11/4. Negative.
Oh, I always put the y on
Oh.
top.
But y over x, why would they do that to us?
15 minus 4 is 11. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 5 plus 1, which is negative 4.
You're sure right.
Now, what if you reversed them? You would have negative 11 over positive 4, which is, of course, exactly the same thing. It's also the same as this, right in the middle. What's not allowed?
Negative anything.
That, because that is positive 11/4. Is everybody good? Excellent. Now on this page,
If we're Gouda, we don't want to be graded because then we'll die.
the cheese does not die when it is grated.
You asked if we're Gouda, and then if we're Gouda, and then we're great. We were like,
Okay, first of all, grated cheese has an infinite more applications than a solid hunk of
then
cheese.
we're dead.
No, you're not.
You're not that, you're tiny.
Parmesan! Would you like some cheese on your pasta? Yes, please. Whoop!
Yes.
Barf!
Yeah.
Pizza. Cheese on your pizza? Yes. Block of cheese.
That would be awesome.
Will you be more useful dead? Is that what you're saying?
No, it needs to be grated so it is useful. Grilled cheese sandwich. One piece of bread. Block of old Cracker Barrel. One piece of bread.
So what you're saying is that if we graded Sarah into a million pieces,
I'd be more useful.
If I were Sarah, I would be angry if you were comparing me to a block of cheese.
Well, you just
But we know how you feel about people in general, Lauren. So we have to be careful here.
But if we are the
grade up
cheese.
Sarah
Is
and throw her on
A, line A, on a graph?
Yes.
Excellent. Which means we should be able to get the slope by counting, yes?
Yes, we should, but it's not.
But all of you are going to go to there.
But it's not on a
And
point.
it's not on a point, is it?
No.
Bum, bum, bum. So what do we do?
Cry.
No, we don't cry. Because what do we know about the slope of the entire line?
That we can use.
It's linear, so the slope never changes, does it, Harmon? So if I can find the slope of any section of it, do I know the slope of the whole line? Great. How would I find a slope of a section of this?
You look at where
It's
they
3-1.
You would look at where it meets a point perfectly. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Bang. Now tell me when to stop.
swipe or no swiping.
Bang. Foom, foom. What's the rise?
3-1.
Positive 3. What's the run?
-1.
Negative 1. So what's the slope?
3 over negative.
M equals negative 3. Dun, dun, dun. Byron, what's the slope of C?
Undefined.
Undefined.
Undefined, brother.
Yeah, boy.
What's the slope of D?
0.
0.
Yeah.
No, whoa. Putting the line through it makes it undefined, Mr. Myers, you dumbass. All right. B.
No, we could do the thing.
Okay.
Do the same thing. Now, wait for it. Should I take the smallest section
Yes.
or the biggest section I can get?
Biggie.
Small.
The absolute largest section possible.
Yes. Why?
Because it looks better.
I had a 50% chance of getting it right, so I would.
Let me ask you this. If I am aiming a laser beam at the moon and I am 1 millimeter off from me to the moon, so I'm aiming it and I'm a millimeter off in this little small section, is that very far? No. What happens on the moon?
You like shoot Mars.
I miss. Because that little bit off misses as it's extended over a long space. So if I take the slope of a tiny little section, what might happen as I expand that line?
Oh.
Well, wouldn't the laser light actually begin to expand anyway, since the wavelengths aren't going to be aligned perfectly?
Hi, have you met Byron? I think you two went to the same lawyer ball school. You guys must be alums. You should get together at grad reunions.
Do they have that at the school?
Grad reunions? I would assume so. I didn't graduate from the school, so I would assume they have grad reunions.
Did you have one?
I went to my 10-year reunion of the school I actually graduated from, and I went to the 20-year reunion of the school in Vancouver that I should have graduated from if my parents weren't horrible individuals. They made me move in the 10th grade, right when I was hitting my stride.
I was like,
See? See how happy I am in grade 10? White shirt. That's grade 10. Grade 12, other change. Not only did I have a girlfriend in grade 12, I was also living in Powell River. You can see what it did to my demeanor. Look at my skin color even. Look at how happy and awesome I look in grade 10, and look at how I look like somebody dug me out of a grave for grade 12. There's a connection.
There's also photos, you know. Photos don't always. You could just like had a bad day.
Did I show you guys this?
No.
oh yeah, the one.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I didn't see that. I
You
thought that
left.
was here.
Wait, wasn't it the reunion? Was it like one of those things like, whoa, you've changed?
That's me. That's Leonard Hofstetler
I know, I'm just.
at the exact same age.
You just send that to him.
But you don't have.
If I could send it to him, believe me, I would.
Why does it sit down?
No, because that's who Johnny Galecki is.
Then why aren't
Okay.
you-
Oh my God, you're aware that the people on the box
Wait, who?
are
Who's that from?
pretend.
Wait, where's that from?
Johnny Galecki's his real name.
What's
Yes.
the actor's name? Like the stage name?
Leonard.
Leonard what? What TV show?
He was from Christmas Vacation.
That's the one
It's from National Lampoon.
Hey, Mr. Como, have you seen this? Look,
If not, but I'm guessing I'm going to.
that's me when I was 14, and that's Leonard from Big Bang Theory at 14.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. No, even now, he looks much thinner.
Why you gotta be that way, Mr. Como?
Wait, what you got?
Those 27 years have been difficult for me.
I think you got your cheeks pitched a lot.
Bye, Mr. Como.
Bye, Mr. Como.
Bye, Mr. Como.
So,
Thanks for that lesson, buddy.
back to where we were. I am aiming my laser beam at the moon. It's a very powerful laser beam, not a laser pointer laser beam, so it actually maintains its integrity the whole way there. It is likely. As a matter of fact, most laser beams would do that, not the dollar store laser pointers
For your cat.
that you get for your cat.
Got a
Now.
real fancy laser beam and only like 500 meters away.
Your dad bought a laser beam. Your dad's friend. Because obviously a laser beam that you can buy as a regular civilian is the top technology available to the
Okay, well
world.
the cops came and they told us we couldn't have it.
I'm glad that.
So we're technically not allowed to own it. He like got it from China.
So as I was saying, do we take the smallest section we can find?
The largest. 'cause it's
Okay,
like the
so
moon.
some of you would say I would bet there and there, and you would get a slope of 1/2, yes?
No.
But I submit you should go as big as possible,
Hey.
and you would get 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 4 over 9 is awfully close to 1/2, but it isn't. Now, let me ask you this. You do this one. And you tell me the slope is 1/2. Have you shown me that you understand the concept of slope?
Wait, have we done like a bigger one? Yeah.
Have you? You've shown me that it's rise over run.
Yeah.
Excellent. Have you shown me that you understand the entire theory behind slope? No. While both of those would garner you a tick on your test, one of them would garner you a 4, and one of them would garner you a 3 in new marking systems. Is everybody comfortable? All right. Sweet. Now, draw a triangle in which all 3 sides have positive slopes. Go. And I've given you no graph to work with. Woo. Nope.
Well, I'm,
You're the only person I can see, Byron, so I'm just going to watch you.
That's a nice triangle.
I mean, if,
Nope.
Look at that.
What? Let's see.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
I just love you,
No.
Lord.
Wait, just hold on.
here we
I got
Wait.
There we go.
That's
That's positive. That's kind of positive.
And that one's wholly negative.
Yes.
So no, all 3 sides have to be positive.
All 3.
That's what the-
It sure ain't.
Is
'Cause I did it.
possible in this world?
Look, I drew another one. I can do it again. Watch this.
A slope goes from left to right.
I was watching the power.
No, because the one on the left has a 0 slope, which is neither positive nor negative, and it has an undefined slope, which is neither positive nor negative.
Both of them have 0.
But it would be positive velocity.
All right, so
Look at
How many what must I do to draw a triangle?
I got it.
I must draw one side to start, right? How do I make a positive slope from there?
Up to the right.
Up and to the right. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Great. Now I'm at this point. I still need to go where?
Up to the right.
Up and to the right. Am I still okay?
Yeah, man.
Now connect them. Did this line go up and to the right?
Yup, we did it.
Done. Could I go down? Sure I could. Down and to the left. Right? Just wait, you guys. Down and to the left, and then connect. No, it doesn't. Because you always do your graphs this way, with up as positive, down as negative. This line went up and right, up and right, up and right. This line went down and left. But if I was down here, it would have been up and right. This line went down and left. But if I was down here, it would have been up and right. This line went down and left, but up and right.
Oh my goodness.
It's actually the fancy word
Tessellation. Called it.
It's not a tesseract. It's how you make tessellations. Not pterodactyls. They don't exist anymore, no matter what Chris Pratt says.
Is that remember that TV show? Wildcrafts. It's still a thing? With that lemur dude?
That's Zaboomafoo.
That's a Zaboomafoo! Oh my god! The one TV show I actually watched.
Guys, mark your calendars. Amshuman just got a pop culture reference.
Thank you. Oh my god, I love that show.
Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo.
The nature show with the lemur that goes leap, leap, leap.
Yeah! With the two brothers, and they do like crazy stuff, and they're like, and they look at the lemur, and he goes, hey guys!
All right. Lauren, I would like to find the X and Y-intercepts.
That's an excellent question.
Which means I need the 2 points that are what? X and 0 and 0 and Y. When I am doing the X-intercept, which letter drops out?
X. Wait. Y.
Y drops out. So I would have 3x plus 8 equals 0. When I'm doing the Y-intercept, what letter drops out? 0 is not a letter, Harmon. I know we've had some number D, letter 0 problems today, but which drops out? X drops out, so I would have negative 2y plus 8 equals 0. Now, what must I do mathematically to solve this?
Algebra.
Exactly. 3x equals what? Negative 8. And what does x equal?
I have no idea. Divide by 3.
Negative 8 thirds. Correct? Now, y values. Negative 2y equals negative 8. What does y equal? No. No. Positive 4. I know that, Amshuman, but I did not hear you say that. So, which of these two values causes us a problem when we want to graph?
The X.
The x one, because it's a fraction. What are our options? Harmon. I could make it a decimal, which would be 2 negative, oh, I don't want to do red because I'm doing that one in black. Negative 2.33. I could graph that. I would go out on to negative 2 and go a little bit past the negative, yes? Would that be exact? Why? Absolutely correct. Good job. So while that is doable, it will not give me my best possible answer. So we could do it, but but let's put a pin in that and see if we can find something better. Byron.
Well, you could do probably two things. Like one, if it's like a bigger piece of graph paper, you could move it over 3 spaces and then kind of use a ruler and then the proper stuff to move it back, but like tracer paper. Or you
So Byron is suggesting a similar thing. The squares would be bigger. He would measure the square and divide it into smaller chunks, right? Okay, good. Same problem with the graph paper we have here.
Okay.
Can't do it. Now you said you had 2 ideas. What was your other one?
The other one is you find points where it connects at like a 2 parts of. It doesn't go like through a line, it like connects.
But I can't do that because this is a single spot. I have to be at x equals -8/3.
But you can find the slope of the line itself, and then
Yeah,
and then
but this is my x-intercept. I have to have a dot on the x-axis at that point.
yeah, you can draw the line first.
Oh, I see what you're doing. You would find other 2 points, connect the line.
Yeah.
Okay, again, but, all right, I agree with you, but I did specifically say use those intercepts. Okay, I'm actually doing something, and you're absolutely right, that would work. But I want to show you guys something you're allowed to do here
Okay.
to make this work for you. And Harmon is close, and your way would work, but the way we're doing it, I don't want to say you're wrong because you're right, but not for what not for where I'm going right now. Blake, did you have an idea?
No,
Okay. What if I did this?
That's a 1.
Uh-huh. So what is that?
That's a 3rd.
That's a third. I need what?
8/3.
I need -8/3. I have made each square worth a third. So now can I graph it exactly?
Well, no, because it's
Just wait, I'm getting to that. Can I graph the x exactly?
Yeah, you could.
1, 2, 3, -1, 3/3, right? 1, 2, 3, -2, 6/3, 7, 8/3.
You did it.
Is everybody cool?
Wait, isn't that this is the first thing I suggested?
I don't think so. You suggested dividing the squares into with bigger graph paper. You would divide the squares into smaller pieces.
Oh,
That's
no,
what I heard
meant-
you say.
No, I meant like expand it by 3 and then.
Oh, okay. Well then, yes, it was the very first thing you said.
Congratulations, you
Yeah.
found the
Everybody cool?
golden
Now,
snitch.
if I've changed this scale, I should probably change this scale, yes?
Oh my
But can I?
Oh, but did you run out of
So you don't need to,
Probably.
but probably a good idea.
I need to get the y-intercept on there. The y-intercept is 4. If I keep this scale, how far up do I need to go? 12. Do I have 12 to go up? No. So am I able to change the y scale?
No.
I could change it to something, but I can't change it to thirds, can I? So if I change it to anything, I would still just have to go up to 4, right? I'm not going to change it at all. 1, so that is 1 going up and down. Everybody with me? 1, 2, 3, 4. Everybody cool with that? And then I would draw the line. Does everybody understand what I've done here?
How come you're allowed to do that?
Because you're in charge of the graph. It doesn't ground you or put you to bed. You get to draw it how you want. Is this point 0 on the x-axis and 4 on the y-axis? Yes. Is this point -8/3 on the x-axis but 0 on the y-axis? Yes. I can change the scales. Now the reason I've done this is twofold. 1, to tell you you're allowed, because it still works. But 2, to show you this. If I asked for this slope, would you be allowed to go 1, 2, 3, 4 over 8?
You trying to use it by 3 thing.
Would you be allowed to draw this for slope? 4 over 8, making your slope 1/2.
No, you got times
Of course not.
3?
Why?
Because it's different.
It's different. They're different scales. How far up did I go? 4. But how far this way did I go?
8.
No, 8/3.
But if you times 4,
So if I multiplied that by 3,
yeah.
would I be okay?
You good.
Yes. Does everybody understand? Why I am showing you this is because when I first showed you about how it's on a graph, you can just count. Most kids will now, for the rest of their lives, just count. They won't bother looking and see if the scales have changed. Because scales change all the time, don't they? Sometimes we go up by 1 year, right? But maybe we made, if, for example, salary. Every year, a decent salary person's going to go up by $50,000, yes? If you keep the same scale, 1, where's the next dot?
Way the hell over.
Up at 50,000. Is there graph paper that's got 50,000 squares on it?
Yes,
No.
probably expensive.
And very, very big. So I put my first dot here at 1, and then I go all the way down here, 50,000. And then next year, I have 100,000. So I got to go here, and I go all the way up another 50. Does that make any sense? No. So very often, we have graphs with different scales. I'll give you another example. Graph of world population. You've all seen it, right?
Go up by what?
It went up real slow for like 40,000 years. And then all of a sudden, whoop! Could you get graph paper that big to keep the scales the same? No, because how many people are on the world right now? 7 billion people. That's a hell of a big piece of graph paper, isn't it?
Well, you can go on like a computer and just
Huh?
scroll for a long time.
Yeah, on your Excel sheet, scrolling to A and 2 billion.
Yeah.
Everybody understand why I have to do this? Because we do use different scales. And we can't say that it's just counting. Because it's not physically rise over run. It's the value of rise over run. Everybody cool? All right, let's do this one. We're going to do this 2 ways. We're going to do it graphically. And then we're going to do it algebraically. Which do you want to do first?
Graph.
Graphically? Okay. So I got 1 point on the graph. And I got an unknown point on the graph. Which of those can I put on the graph right now? Yellow or blue?
Yellow.
Well, it would be blue if the computer worked.
Oh, well that's a trick.
It is a trick, right? Went yellow. Even though you can quite plainly see blue is highlighted, it has gone yellow.
I was right. I just...
There we go. Which one can I put on the graph now?
2, 6.
2, 6. So let's do that. I'm going to put 2, 6 on the graph. 1, 2, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Agreed? Okay. Now, what do we know about the blue highlighted point? What do we know about it?
X is -4.
It's got an x value of -4, yes? So somewhere, 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere on this line, the blue point exists, right?
That's good to know.
Does everybody understand why? Okay. So now, what else do I know?
To understand.
I have a slope of 2, right? What's slope of 2 really? 2 over 1. Okay? So I got to get from here to here with a slope of 2. So I got to go where? Up or down? If I go up, I'd have to go right. That's taking me away from here.
Down 2 left.
So I'm going to go down 2, left 1, yes? Where's the next one? Down 2, left 1. Down 2, left 1. Down 2, left 1. Down 2, left 1. Down 2, left 1.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm there. What is the y value? -6. Is everybody cool? Can everybody do that graphically? Yes? Great. Do the next one graphically. Do that one. Go. Where is the point you can put on the graph? Where you got to go? Tell me what x is. What's x?
5.
5. Can everybody do this graphically? Everyone? Okay. Now, let's go back and check it algebraically. In algebra, how do we find slope? Equals slope, right? Okay. I don't know why m is slope. I've often wondered, but it is. I've never bothered to look. I'm going to find that out. That sounds like a question for Google. I bet it's got to do with Latin.
Probably.
That's my bet.
Everything.
Most. All right. So, do I have a y2 and a y1? Do I? No. I'm missing a y, aren't I? What?
It says it does not know why the letter M was
Is
chosen.
that serious?
It says it has been arbitrary
Huh.
and like wait.
Arbitrary.
And then
They
John
just
Conway,
chose.
John Conway suggested that M could stand for modulus of slope.
Still.
Well, because slope is modulating. Okay. I think it's more likely. You want to know what I really think it is? I bet that it was some other culture that decided how important it was, and they had a character for it of some kind that looked a little like an M, and when Western European culture took it over, like they do to everybody, they made it M. I bet that's what happened.
And they want to cover it.
I bet, but I'm not sure because I wasn't there. But is everyone's cool here? Yes. Do I have two y's? No. What do I have?
That's 6.
I have y minus 6. Correct.
Or 6.
If I've written it this way, that makes this y y2, right? What does that make that?
X2.
X2. So I am over negative 4 minus 2 equals, what's my slope?
Y minus 6
What's my slope?
over.
What's my slope?
2.
2 over 1.
What?
What?
X.
That equals slope. I have been given a slope.
A big.
I'm not sure why I heard so many people go, what?
Oh, okay, I get you now.
That equals my slope. I am told my slope is 2. Why did I put 2 over 1? So I had to rise over run. What do I do
Okay.
with that right now?
You do the math.
I tidy it up, and I get y minus 6 over, what is negative 4 minus 2?
Negative 6.
Negative 6 equals 2 over 1. How do I solve every single algebra problem that is fraction equals fraction?
Simplify first. So you want to get negative 6 is right?
But it's
No.
simplified, so we should unsimplify it.
Oh yeah, that makes it a 0.
Like,
Skip.
What do I do whenever I have this? It starts, you guys call it not what it really is, but you all know what it is. Starts with a C. Cross multiply. What is negative 6 times 2? Negative 12 equals, what is 1 times y?
1 times y.
Y. What is 1 times negative 6? Negative 6. Solve that. What do you do with that?
Add it.
Add it. What's negative 12 plus 6?
Negative 6.
Negative 6 equals y.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Negative 6 equaled y. Everybody good? So what are we going to do down here? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals slope. What do I know?
You know everything except for that.
I'm missing an x. So fill this in. What do you want to write for y2?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Great. Minus. What does that make y1?
5.
5. Over. What does that make x2?
X minus.
X.
X minus negative.
X minus minus 1, which is
Plus.
x plus 1. And what does that equal?
Negative 3 over 2.
Negative 3 over 2. What do you do every time in math ever that you have fraction equals fraction? Right, but shouldn't I tidy this up first?
Yeah.
What's negative 4 minus 5?
Negative 9.
Negative 9 over x plus 1 equals negative 3 over 2. What's 2 times negative 9?
Negative 18.
Negative 18 equals, what's negative 3 times x?
3 negative 3.
Negative 3x. What's negative 3 times 1? Negative 3. What do I do with that negative 3?
Plus.
Move it over. What does that give me?
15.
Negative 15 equals negative 3x. Now what?
Divide by negative 3.
Divide by negative 3. What does that give me for x?
5.
5. Oh! Can everybody do this algebraically?
When did you write that?
What?
The blue 5. When did you write that?
When I made the graphing one.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, you all did this with graphing first.
I remember we did that.
All right.
Okay.
You guys try to do that by yourself 2 more times, and then work on page 219. Because I've been talking for too long. Even though we had a good time today. Let me get that for you, Lauren.
Oh, thank you.
First try. First try. And of course, you will be working on page 219 for work of the home. Seems dicey. We'll see. Wednesday.
It's already Wednesday.
I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? Have we met? We haven't even gone over the last test. I have it sitting right here, all marked and everything for everybody. Even though some of you feel I can get it marked in 25 minutes. No names mentioned.
Not at all. Bye, Maddie.
To be fair, I did have it completely marked. I just hadn't entered it.
It's Maddie.
Oh.
Madeline. Are you?
What are you, a mayor?
See, look, I said bye, Maddie. You said it's Madison. Her name's Madeline.
Madison.
It's Maddie. Her nickname is Maddie. Bye, Maddie.
Can I get the milk because I'm face pot in the fridge?
Yes.
Wow, dang it.
The milk.
I'm hungry, but I ate my
You
salad.
need some milk.
I must wait.
So, all of you are going to work on that.